Welcome to the Salt Circle Podcast. And here's your host, Dr. Ben Athias.
Yeah, that's right. Me first this time. And
Also,
with
I'm
me
Hank.
is my... Wow. My sidekick, Hank, a.k.a. I am 3D Homer. Welcome.
Hi. We're doing Persona 4 this week.
Yeah, that's right. You take that secondary role. Run with it. Yeah, well, you have played both Persona 4 and Persona 4 Golden for PSP, correct?
Yes.
Yeah. I
is
only
correct.
played Golden, so that is the extent of my knowledge. I dabbled in a couple of the others, but yeah, largely this is going to be about Persona 4. So if you
And
came for 5...
Also, haven't really watched either of the anime series that much.
Oh,
I've
God, no.
looked at briefly, but
They
also
did
not
pull
talking about
clips
that.
from those are in the game, though, right? Or in Golden?
no. Those
Or are
were
those
both
separate
made
clips?
after their respective games came out.
Okay.
Yes, those anime sequences in the game are specifically made for the game. The animes came
Gotcha.
later.
That
And
makes
the
sense.
one thing I know is that regular Persona 4 anime is like a first playthrough, and then they kind of treat the Persona 4 Golden anime like it's a new plus run, with just the way the protagonist acts. It's
Interesting.
like a little more confident, a little more, you know,
Lady killer.
act like he's been there before.
Yeah. No one ever acts like they've been there before. It's disappointing. Yeah, I guess as usual, just your introduction, your first experience with Persona, like how you came to it, I guess. That sort of thing.
Yeah, so I mean, I probably had like heard it mentioned briefly before, but the thing that it was like one of my friends started playing it, and another one of my friends was watching him play it, and was like, "This is really good." And then I watched, and then that friend decided to play it, and then I watched him play like the first 2 hours, and was like, "This is really good."
Okay.
Although then having to go play those first 2 hours again was kind of a bummer. So then I put it down for a while and then didn't come back to it till later, and then got really
Sure.
into it.
Yeah.
It's just that thing of like those first 3 hours probably you're not really doing anything. It's just
Yeah.
it's a lot of story up front
Mhm.
where you're just clicking through stuff, and I think that's a hard sell on the first time, but
Yeah, but once you know what's going on, you're just like,
yeah, I mean,
Fuck
it's
it,
also
let's
a
do
hard
it.
sell if you see that's been your intro and then you have to go through it again. I would say that's like my biggest minor complaint about Persona 4, probably.
yeah. I don't even know. I know where I heard about it. That would be through Peter. Because, he'll tear apart a game. He'll hack a Persona. That Dancing Aegis video, I don't know if you've seen it. That's him. He's the one who found that, and it blew up. So yeah, he's really into Persona, and I got a PSP, had a PSP for a while, and I don't know what he said that convinced me to try it. I forget. I'm sure there was something, but I know I adamantly was like, yeah, no, it's not happening. I don't need any of this weeb bullshit. And then it happened, and it happened fast. Like, I put like 100, I think by the time I finished my first run, it was like 120 hours. Like, I fucked around a little, but I think I only started the game like 6 or 8 times. Like, just played. I spent literally probably 36 hours at least out of a weekend playing it that I had nothing else going on. Was doing some house sitting for a relative, so I'm just like, all right, played Persona literally the entire time. And I don't know, it's not, I guess the game itself, like the structure of it and stuff makes sense, because there's a lot of story, there's good stuff going on, obviously, but the whole,
Yeah.
it's a little outside my normal realm. It's a little weeby, I guess.
There aren't trees.
Yeah, there's not enough tree. There was no tree character. But yeah, and it's definitely been a kind of one and done deal. I debated doing New Game Plus immediately after finishing, but I didn't. And honestly, the couple of times I've attempted to start 3, just not enough desire to keep going, and I have zero desire to play 5. But 4, just played the shit. I don't know. Maybe someday, but for now, just kind of a one-time thing.
Yeah, I mean, I feel you on 3 because I've started that game and didn't get hooked.
Yeah, I tried both the PSP version and the. Oh, I'm sorry. I just realized I had a Vita. I had a Vita. But
well, no,
Persona 3 was on
is a P.
Yes, but
Yes.
I had a Vita for 4. It's all the
Yeah.
fucking same. It's a portable PlayStation. Fight me.
Look, the Vita's a much better system though.
Well, yeah.
It's the proto Switch.
I mean, I think probably the most impressed I've been with any piece of hardware was while I was playing Persona 4, because I was like 16 hours in and hadn't saved, and I ran out of battery and the whole thing just shut off, and I'm like, well, I guess I'm never finishing this game because fuck that. Like, I'm out. And then I plug it back in, and the game started back up where I left off, and it was the greatest moment of my entire life. Like, I was literally blown away. Like, I didn't know that was a thing at all, so that was crazy. It was a good experience. It was horrifying for like 5 minutes.
Yeah.
But yeah, and then I heard on PS3, Persona 3 had like actual models and stuff, kind of like P4. So
Yes, I mean it looks
tried that.
it. Persona 3 and Persona 4 on PS2 basically are running on the same engine.
Yeah,
They like look pretty much identical except for color, like the color themes.
yeah. So I tried that.
Persona 3 is more blue than yellow.
Still didn't get far at all.
The problem I have with Persona 3 on consoles is it doesn't let you direct command. Like
Yep.
it's only built for your party members to do the auto
Yeah,
stuff, and I hate that. I need direct command. It drives me insane.
I
not
didn't get
having
far
full
enough
control.
to hate that. I just
That's fair.
yeah. It was a weird thing.
But I have played through 5, so I
Yeah.
know what in the series, and that helped me crystallize like what about the series I like and what specifically about 4 I think was great. So, and that has a lot to do with the mystery in 4 is so good. Like the thing about 5, that's kind of my biggest problem with it, is that it has a lot of the same beats of Persona 4 in terms of plot stuff, but it's not really a mystery.
Okay. I know nothing about 5, so
Yeah,
don't
it's
know.
just
you want
it's just like you're doing individual missions basically for the dungeons, and they're kind of
so
there's like a
not
loose connection, but there's
All
no like
right.
murder you're chasing. There's no
okay. So it's
and
more
at the end to
episodic
find out
almost.
who's doing it, the game kind of hits you over the head with it instead of like Persona 4 asks you like, we've put the stuff there and you figure it out and you pick the person who committed this.
Yeah.
Persona 5 never does that. The characters just like say, nope, we knew all along actually. We actually knew before the game was telling you that you knew, and it was
That
super obvious
sounds-
anyway.
That
It's like
sounds bleh.
it's not as good.
Yeah.
It's fine, but it's not as good.
For some reason that
But the
reminded
thing
me,
that-
in
the
my
things
first,
about it.
oh,
Yeah.
no.
yeah.
Oh,
Okay,
go on.
ahead.
No.
I was just gonna say the things that Persona just does as a series that I love is it, and it takes a while for you to playing it to get into it. Like it took me like 30 hours into Persona 5 before it really cooked me in that way. Is just the rhythm of the days going by, and like I'm doing this today, and then the rhythm of and then going into a dungeon and having that different kind of rhythm with that.
Yeah.
That's the stuff that's like, and like the day-to-day life stuff. That's the stuff about the series that I think is super good. In addition to the social link stuff, which is pretty special too.
Yeah, I think my main draw. Like for the story and stuff, I absolutely agree. Like it did a mystery very well. P4 did. The gameplay, like it kind of had that. It has just enough Pokemon in it, but it's like Pokemon with a story,
Yeah,
which
yeah, pretty
Pokemon
much.
doesn't have.
Yes, exactly.
So that definitely was a thing, which is a great anecdote that Peter put. I think I forget what he said it was, like at least 70 hours or something like that, 65 hours, 70 hours into the game before realizing that like type effectiveness was a thing.
That's hilarious.
Like like he didn't. I don't know how. Like I
How
think
do you not like the
Yeah,
first
I
battle is a
yeah,
tutorial about that.
Yeah,
Weakness
no,
is
I
such
don't
a
know. He
huge
just,
part
like-
of the game.
you just like mashed
You
A
just do
through it.
stuff.
Yeah, yeah.
Maybe sometimes they're weak to it. I don't know.
I thought that was great.
Yeah, I
though.
guess
I'm
that's
like,
how I approach a new fight. I guess I don't know.
Yeah, I remember vividly talking to him about it. Like, man, this is great. It's kind of like, just by playing Pokemon, it's already a little intuitive with the types and stuff. He's like, what do you mean? Like, oh, okay. Yeah.
It's really funny.
Also, I think that's the first. It's the first good game that I've played that has multiple endings, and I say that because the only other one I can think of offhand is like Shadow the Hedgehog. There's a debate to be had there about whether that's a good game. The debate largely being based around whether you're a bad person or not. So that was a cool experience for me as well. I maybe there's more, but I can't think of them. The unfortunate thing is that the first ending I got involved Naoto dying. Or not Naoto, Nanako.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, so that was a little soul crushing.
You fucked that up.
Yeah, I fucked up hard. It was brutal. That whole thing was just like, oh shit.
Bad end. Yeah. If you hit the bad end is fucking dark.
Yeah, dude, it was brutal as hell. I was like, okay. And then for like the next couple of hours after like going back and redoing stuff, it didn't feel real. I'm like, I know the real timeline already. I'm a bad person.
Yeah, so they put in extra bad ends in Persona 4 Golden. Like,
Is that not one of the original?
No, I think that one is in there. The big one they added is you can let Adachi just get away with it. You just protect him.
Oh my god.
There's like a really weird cutscene that comes along with that. But yeah, that exists.
That's
He's like not grateful. He's like, why did you do that? That's weird. Bye, weirdo.
oh my god.
Not
You son of a bitch.
grateful or anything. Because that's like one of the problems with I figured out the mystery. I figured out Adachi was the killer in the first game playthrough just because it was like obvious to me that he didn't have a social link and he was like the major character. It's like Scooby-Doo logic of who's in this but like could be the killer or something. But in Golden he has a social link. They fixed that for that thing. Although his social link is fucking creepy.
I don't even think I did that social link.
That's
I was
fair.
very exclusive with my social links, and by that I mean I only went for the hotties. And then Valentine's
Yeah.
Day came around and I felt like a douchebag. Because
so
I
that
kind of
also-
was.
Yeah, they punish you way harder in Golden for dating multiple girls with all
Which
the
is good. I
breakup scenes.
agree with that decision.
Yes.
Also, a
But,
point of pride. I flawlessly completed the Naoto link. First try. No guide. Crushed it. Felt
Yeah,
good.
Naoto was one I think I fucked up in my first playthrough. I don't remember if I might have reloaded a bunch of times to make sure I did finish it. I think that's what I did. I cut it super close and I had to redo the last couple weeks over and over again to get it perfectly.
That's because you don't deserve her.
But then when I played Golden, since that was my second playthrough, I fucked up once and maxed all but the strength social link. I fucked up and only got 8 on that
Good job.
out of 10.
Yeah,
That's fine.
definitely.
I was also trying to get all the books in that playthrough, which I also didn't do because it's too hard to do that if you're not on New Game Plus. I think.
Gotcha. Yeah, I remember seeing Naruto for the first time. I was like, wait a minute, that's a chick, isn't it? This is a chick, isn't
Well,
it? And you know,
her English voice actress. It's not that hard to figure it
Yeah.
out.
I would later feel just as good about seeing, with zero knowledge at all, seeing Pidge in the new Voltron series and going, that's a chick. Don't fuck around here. That's a girl. I got this. That'll be a story for another podcast.
Yeah.
But yeah, I do remember seeing one big article. Maybe there were a couple that were super displeased about how Naruto was handled. I think they were just talking about Golden, but the whole like transgender, transsexual sort of thing.
No, that's in the original too.
Well,
The-
yeah,
the
but I
stuff that
like
they're
the
complaining
article.
about.
But the article
yeah.
I think was referring to Golden, like they were bringing that one up. It was kind of, I don't know. I disliked it because it made it feel like you only had the option of like that you were not even that you had the option, but like, oh, it's an option where you force her to do this. It's like, no, like you can be.
I mean,
I think
okay.
it's.
Yeah, the thing is, they give you the character because you're the player character who's in control, kind of agency over her identity. Just because, and it puts it in the phrase of she asks you if you would like her to be more girly when you're alone, basically.
Yeah.
And the thing I don't agree with those articles, but I get where they're coming from in terms of they identify with that character, so they project onto her.
Yeah.
But
No, this
she's just not written that, like she's just not the character. That's just not what that character necessarily was. It was
no.
I feel like it's written as a girl who likes to dress like a dude and act in that way, not actually transgendered man.
Yeah, no, exactly. Like she wasn't. The implication I got from everything that we know was that she wasn't dressing and acting like a guy because that's who she felt she was. She was doing it because she wanted more respect as a detective police force person. Like that's what I was picking up the whole time. But yeah, I get where they're coming from. There was one article that was super like just no other alternative. Like if you made her do this, you're the problem and all this stuff. And I'm like,
It's a little.
I get it, but
It's just they're too strong a position. It's just that they're an underserved audience, and it's like getting close, but it's just not the thing they actually want. So
yeah, no, and that's
it's just
it'll happen someday if it hasn't already. I guess I don't know if there's
not in a
anything
game
immediate,
that
but not in
a game
dating,
that's
not
that
in-
character focused.
not in
It's probably
fucking-
happened in a dating sim. I don't know.
not in Date 'em All 2000
Not in
whatever.
like Persona 4 is underground, but also kind of mainstream.
Yeah. It's the realest Shinigami Tunsu. Shibigubi.
Just say Mega 10.
Mega 10. Ugh. I feel
was
dirty
the-
now.
I mean, that was what people called them.
Yeah.
Actually, I feel like it's just the Mega 10 series. I've the big thing I tried to play Shin Megami Tensei 4 on 3DS, and that was like, nope, didn't like that at all. But
feel
that
like-
had a problem where it was dungeon, like 3D dungeon exploring without a camera control, and that drove me insane.
Oh, yeah.
But also the just the character writing was not there. Because the thing with the big difference I feel like between Persona and standard Mega 10 Shin Megami Tensei is the Shin Megami Tensei stuff is like we're battling demon god stuff, and Persona is the grounded like everyday school life stuff, and that's the stuff that I feel like really sets the series apart. So like that other stuff exists is interesting, and I think it's cool that like Persona 4 is like Persona is like a piece of this much grander puzzle of demons existing in the world and invading, but we're just getting this slice of this character focused thing, which I think is
Yeah.
kind of more interesting and cool. And when it gets into the bigger stuff, it's less successful. I actually think Persona 5 is the most successful I've seen them at the grand scale stuff. It gets a little bigger in scale than Persona 4 ever does
Okay.
at the end. But there's a Shin Megami Tensei series that I do actually also really like, which is the Devil Survivor.
I probably
Shin
have
Megami
that one.
Tensei Devil Survivor and Devil Survivor 2.
The
I
amount
haven't
of
played 2 yet though, but they're on. They remade them for 3DS with voice acting. They were originally on the DS without voice acting, I think. Oh, I don't remember if 2 had
maybe
voice acting on
we could,
3DS,
like-
but they're very good. They're very good tactics games, basically.
There's probably I probably have some of those. There was a period of time where Peter was like, "Hey Ben, this game is on sale." I'm like, "Yeah, okay," and I just went and bought it because I was working full time and I had money back then. So fuck it. So the amount of Atlas games I own and the amount of Atlas games I played
Yeah,
are two entirely different numbers. Like it's kind of bad, and there's some regrets, but I don't know. Maybe we could like go through one. I think that's part of it. Like I don't know anybody else who's currently going through them. Like I've had people say, "Oh man, I played those. You should do it." And I'm like, "Yeah, okay," and then I don't.
yeah. We'll talk after
Well, yeah.
about future plans.
I think my biggest quarrel with Persona 4, possibly Persona as a series, and video games in general is fuck Teddy.
Wow.
He's a bad character. Anyone who likes him should feel bad. He's creepy, he's annoying, and he actually ruined bears in games for me. You know why I didn't play Danganronpa? There's a fucking bear in it. True story.
Yeah, but that bear's supposed to be creepy and evil.
Yeah, I don't care. Maybe. He has nothing on Teddy. He has nothing. That bear would meet Teddy and be like, "Oh, shit." He just dipped.
Teddy's fine. You're just wrong.
Awful.
It's fine.
He's awful.
He's
There's one line he
Fine.
has where he says, "Oh, Nanako," and it's way too sexual. It's way too sexual to be left in that game. I hate his voice. I hate him. I liked it better
Well-
when he was an empty husk. Why did he have to turn into an actual person?
so he does have a different voice actor in Golden
Well,
than in regular. So I don't.
if I played Teddy, I wouldn't want to
remember.
reprise that role either.
But it's not that different. It's not as big a difference as the Chie difference, I would say. Although I do kind of. I mean, I just prefer his original voice because that's the one I played first, probably. But
Yeah. I just don't prefer him. They literally take him out of the game. I don't care. I wish there was an ending where you could let Adachi get away and have Teddy convicted for being the killer. I would take that
probably
ending
can
every
I
time.
mean, you can accuse Teddy at least.
Yeah. Maybe I did. I feel like I probably did, and nothing came of it. I was disappointed that.
It's like, wait, we don't have enough evidence, but this doesn't make any sense.
Have you seen him? They're like, "Oh shit, you're right. Put him in cuffs, boys." No, that just. It was. Yeah.
I mean, I know Teddy is hateable, but I just don't hate him. He's fine.
And you're allowed to have that incorrect opinion.
I like his puns. I like his bear puns.
Okay, see, like bear puns are good.
Bear puns are good, inherently. Full stop.
Yeah, but it's like, I don't know. It's just if they were delivered by someone who wasn't deplorable.
Why is he deplorable? He's fine. I mean, he's a little creepy, but
He's more than a little creepy. Non-creepy people don't start out as empty husks of bear costumes.
well, that part I'm fine with. It's the part where he keeps hitting on girls who have no interest in him.
Or
It's like,
girls that
come
are
on,
like 8 years
it's
old.
fine. He's not hitting on
I remember
Nanako.
the line, dude. I remember the line, and nothing will ever.
You're just
It
sensitive.
was too much. No, I was not sensitive. It was too much. I was sensitive when I read the last Star Wars comic that I read. That was me being sensitive. This was just me being a rational human being. What is I'm actually blanking on the dad's on Nanako's dad's name. Dejima? No. What's his name?
Yeah, Ryotaro Dojima.
Oh, sick. Yeah, no, if I was him, I would have been like, get the fuck away from my daughter. You stay out of here. Get out of this house. Out of this town.
He's not the best dad.
Oh, no, I'm not. I would never make that claim. Oh, there's a killer on the loose. Be careful. Later.
Leave her.
Oh, yeah.
Just let it go. Like,
what was his plan?
Six-year-old daughter to just fend for herself.
What was his plan if your character wasn't around? Like, it'd be even worse.
She'd just be alone a lot, watching TV, watching that Junes commercial.
Yeah.
She's raised by a commercial for a strip mall, or a mall, rather, that's destroying the town. It's like, here, get raised by Walmart, honey. It's fine.
I mean,
fine.
In this day and age, basically. Still better than leaving her alone with like an iPad or whatever. Finds her way into YouTube, like watches those Spider-Man farts on Elsa's face or whatever.
Finds those pregnancy games.
Oh God. Yeah, there's something to be said about that. Like, Dejima's not a great dad, but he's not the worst. There's worse stuff.
Look, he's just lucky the internet wasn't really a thing. In that game.
Yeah, he had that going for him. Okay, so just officially on the record, best girl, P4. We'll say
Chie.
P4 Golden. Chie, just
Chie.
straight up.
Chie, yeah.
Ugh. So
Chie's the best.
like, I don't think she's the worst.
She kicks people. It's pretty good.
That's yeah.
Pretty good.
No, like she's not. I actually don't think any of them are bad.
No. I like all of them. I like all the main characters in Persona 4 a whole bunch.
Yeah. I mean, if I had to pick a worst for lack of a better, the least best.
Teddy. Yeah, you already picked Teddy.
Okay, well, Teddy, but I'm saying for the grills.
Oh.
Probably Yukiko.
Yeah.
Like-
Yukio was the only one I didn't date on my first playthrough. Of the main ones. Because it didn't in that game. It didn't matter. There wasn't.
Would she be flattered that you had enough respect to not have her as a side chick, or would she be upset because she was so bad that you wouldn't go for her?
I was just not compelled.
Yeah, I really can't choose. It's still a choice between Naoto and Marie. I don't know. Marie has that supernatural nonsense going on.
Where she's actually the spirit of the town.
Yes, so that's hot. But damn, girl.
I mean, Marie is just the. She's just like, oh, this is the character I have way less attachment to her because she's only in Golden.
Yeah, no, that's fair. I think there's also
actually, if you could just date Margaret, I might have done that.
She's like Igor's helper or whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's a scene, I think you can only do it in New Game Plus, but like you fight her and then she kisses you. It's like if you complete her social link.
Nice.
But it's like an extra super hard boss battle thing.
Mm-hmm. No, I think for Marie, I definitely fell into that. Like, there's a term for it, but it's where people will help someone, and then you like get that confused with like, oh no, I actually like this person, but you're just
Stockholm Syndrome.
It's not Stockholm Syndrome. That's where you drink beer until you like beer. Like, no, No, it's a thing. It's a thing. Where like you take care of someone, and then through taking care of them, their like feelings are developed. But
It's
and,
the
like,
opposite of Stockholm syndrome.
I guess
Because
I
Stockholm
fucking
syndrome is
forget the
you,
term.
you get affection for someone
Yeah,
who like
no,
kidnapped you.
Yeah, no, I know what that is. I'm very familiar with that. But
Oh man.
yeah, the question is,
that-
what side of it was I on? You'll never know.
Wow.
It was both sides. So yeah, there's probably a bit of that going on, but in the end, it's a
Damn it. I
pixel
looked
girl,
up
so I don't.
opposite of Stockholm syndrome, and it gave me nope. This is where abductors get sympathy for their captives. Lima syndrome. God damn it. Oh well.
I mean, try like caretaker syndrome or something. That probably is closer. I don't know. There's a term for it. Maybe it has the word syndrome in it. Maybe it doesn't. I don't know.
Look, all I know is that relationships formed under stressful circumstances never last.
That can't possibly be true.
I think that's from Speed.
Yeah, it's great. the go-to for
Look,
relationships.
Speed has the greatest one-liner of all time, which comes after.
Go on.
So the villain's going, "I'm smarter than you, Jack. I'm smarter," and then he gets his head knocked off, and then Keanu Reeves goes, "Oh yeah, well I'm taller." So good. The
No,
best.
that's pretty
It's the
great.
best.
Yeah. I still remember in like probably I think still like the most badass moment in P4 in Golden, the first time you get your I can't even remember your I forgot what a persona was. When you first
man.
like get in a fight and your persona comes out, there's that little animated scene and there's that fucking riff and it just goes like all out. That was a good moment. I was like, that's probably like at that point I knew I was in. It's like
It's
in JoJo, they
super
do
good.
they do a riff, and I'm like, okay, I'm in. I'm watching this now.
Just all it takes is a guitar riff and you're in.
I mean,
Okay.
when it's a really good riff, though, when it's implemented that well, and also in JoJo, it's yes, so it's hard to go wrong with that.
Just, like, didn't even have to come up with anything. Just using
I
licensed
did
music.
I like the soundtrack in P4. I listened to it outside of the game a little bit, but it took like a full year before I could, because I had just had 120 hours straight of that like daytime theme.
Yeah. I mean, the Velvet Room theme was just like stuck in my head for months after.
Yeah.
Like I'd be humming it and they're like, "What is that?" Like, "Oh, it's the Velvet Room theme." Cuz like there are a lot of those incidental songs that I was like, that's fine, but I don't love it, but like over time, like I just love all that music just cuz it's associated with that game. I feel like probably in part. But I really like the vocal tracks a lot.
Yeah,
So
no,
those I listen to a bunch.
Yep, absolutely. Those are definitely my most listened to, like outside of the game.
So you haven't played any of the spin-off games for Persona 4?
Like dancing or arena.
Dancing, Arena, and there's Persona Q.
Oh, Persona Q. No,
And there's Arena Ultimax.
I think I have Arena.
different from-
I had Arena and Arena Ultimax on PS3. I don't think I ever touched them. P4 dancing. There was this YouTube clip that someone took of Naoto dancing in the trailer and put it to Hips Don't Lie. Aside from watching that like 1,000 times, no, haven't played the game. But that one clip is fantastic. And also got me into Shakira.
That's hilarious.
I
Yeah.
don't
they're-
recommend her first two albums. They were way too 90s and just not good.
Welcome to the Shakira podcast starring Ben.
Don't start. You know, I'll take over right now.
Yeah. So the thing with Persona
Empire
Q is
was
a
underrated.
crossover.
It was underrated, and I think it was the best song on that album. Had to be said. Okay, continue.
Yeah, Persona Q is like a spin-off game that's non-canon technically.
Yeah,
Between
it
Persona
like
4 and
mixes-
Persona 3.
Yeah,
And it plays like one of the Etrian Odyssey games, so it's like a hardcore dungeon crawler game with where you're drawing your own map as you play through
Yep.
on the 3DS, and it's fun and light, but it doesn't ever hit like the weight of emotional moments. It's just like fun.
Yeah.
So that it's pretty good.
There's
I
no
didn't, I never,
feels.
I never, didn't finish it though. Yeah.
I looked at getting
the
it, but
Persona
it was
4
always expensive. Like, I think it
mean
was
for
just for...
$40.
Yeah. That was pricey, man. I'm all about those sales.
Arena and Arena Ultimax take place. So the thing that also it's like it takes nebulously at a time like once you've gathered your whole party, but during the game, whereas like Arena takes place after the events of the game. I think
Okay.
Arena might. I forget when Arena takes place. Yeah, after the events, but before the reunion, still. And then Dancing All Night, I think, takes place after the reunion, and then there's just a plot reason why they start dressing like they used to. Basically.
Can you dress... Can you be Naoto in her outfit at the end of the game in P4, though?
In
know if
Dancing
it's
All
top
Night, you
tier.
can. In Dancing All Night has all the outfits. Some of them
And
are
then
DLC.
some.
Yes, but it has lots of outfits. So it has that was the other thing that Persona 4 Golden added. In base PS4, you don't have those outfit options while you dungeon
Oh,
crawl.
there were some outfit options.
So that was a
There were
good
some
addition.
options.
That's good. That was good stuff.
It's armor.
Yeah, not that one. I don't. That one. I think that is in Dancing All Night, but it might be DLC. I don't remember.
Well, I would hope so. They want you to pay for the luxury.
They always give free swimsuit DLC for their games now. I don't like. They never put
yeah.
that in the base game. It's always DLC, but it's free.
Beach episode. Up close and personal plan.
Look, the important thing is you dress them up like Santa Clauses and then have a good time.
I mean, it's your main character. And he's looking around the battlefield and he's just like, ho, ho, ho. 3 hoes.
Gross.
How dare you?
How dare you?
That's Chie over there. How fucking dare you?
How dare you? I mean, she would kick your butt, so.
Literally
Better
would
watch
try to
yourself.
kick me.
Yeah. She's very good at kicking.
That was one of the things Peter uncovered in his game hacks. Like, her feet are put in the game. They're filed in the game like as
a weapon.
weapons. Yeah,
Yeah.
it's pretty
Yeah,
good.
because the weapons change the aesthetic in the game, so her legs change based on what boots you give her. I think
Yeah.
even in the regular game. So
Yeah, but it's
they have
still
to be
like
classified
this-
as a weapon. Yeah, it's super good. It's so good.
also meat.
Yeah, she likes meat and kung fu movies. Come on.
They tried way too hard though. Chie is the girl in the gif of like a bunch of hot dogs just hitting her face for multiple reasons. They're meat.
No.
They're also a euphemism for dicks.
Wow, gross.
I mean, I'm just trying to tell you the truth about the girl that you like most of the game. Now you know.
She's popular. She's popular.
Sure.
character?
Yeah. Well. Yeah.
I mean, they're all popular characters.
Yeah. No. The whole
They
game
all-
is popular characters, basically.
Yeah,
Except Teddy.
That's how it's designed. I mean, the thing that I like about Atlas does is we'll make this giant game, but we have to make it so likable because it's kind of a niche audience that the people who like it really fucking like it and will buy lots of shit. We'll buy lots of ancillary stuff. Like, I like that approach of like, let's just make a thing that people really fucking love, and then we'll profit off that.
Yeah. No, there's
I respect it.
I
Although
think
I'm not gonna play the fucking pachinko machine, or there's a Persona 4. There's also a Persona 4 slot machine. Persona 4 slot.
Okay. I mean, the joke's too easy, so we'll move on. I was really tempted to get Persona Q purely based on... I'm pretty sure that was the one that came with, like, the tarot cards. Or a version of it did, yeah.
Yeah.
Something. Those are dope. Like, I'm a sucker for, like, simple... Like, action figures, meh, don't really care. But tarot cards are, like, a tangible collection thing that... I don't know. I was tempted.
Yeah, I have 2 sets of those tarot cards. I forget why I got the other one. It might have come with Arena.
That sounds right. Or I thought it was like half of them came with something and like the other ones came with something else or something for some reason. I
don't think I ever took them out of the plastic even. I think I still have them sealed somewhere.
Mint.
I also
That's
have
called
an
mint.
inflatable Teddy.
I should
I
end
have-
this podcast right fucking now.
And I have a
should be
little
done.
keychain Adachi that I got in a random box of stuff at an anime convention.
Okay, so
And I have a
do.
Chie figure that I bought.
Yeah.
Little
Yeah,
chibi
as
Chie
you
figure.
do. Fun fact, I purchased a Marie figure and I got totally fucked out of it. Apparently it was one of those sites that like is a scam site,
Great.
but like they also fooled Peter and a couple of the other people that I showed because I never fucking got it. And then like by the time that like emails started going out like, oh no, this is a whole scam, blah blah blah, like it was way too late. Like I'm okay, I guess I'm out $70 now, like this is stupid. But yeah, so I was like, I like the figure, I don't like it enough to buy it twice. But
Yeah,
no,
I
what you
like.
need to-
My other thing is I just like small figures. They're A, cheaper, and B, that fits more easily on a bookshelf. I
Yeah.
just kind of like prefer that. So that's just like that. Just a win-win for me.
No, but what you need to do now is get out a recording device, yeah, like video, and you need to get Teddy fully inflated.
I
And
mean, he's in the corner of my room right now.
okay, that's good. You're already there. Then you need to poke him, something sharp, and I want to watch him fly around the room as he slowly deflates into the nothingness that he truly is.
The plastics would be too heavy for that anyway.
Okay, we'll just stab him with something
like
big,
a-
make a big hole.
It's like a beach ball kind of plastic.
Okay. So, alternative idea: have him standing on the precipice.
He is hollow inside. It's
Yeah.
accurate.
Yeah. I mean, put him on a precipice that is just over enough of like some hot coals or something so that it doesn't melt him right away. And then you poke him and he deflates. And as he deflates, you have it set so that he falls into the hot coals and melts and is purged from the earth.
I like Shadow
just consider
Teddy.
it.
Shadow Teddy's a good guy. What a fun dude.
What a bro.
Everything's meaningless.
See, that was
Fun
good stuff.
times.
That was the best form of Teddy.
Crush Teddy. He was like, ah. His eyes were
What?
bugging out.
Was he like he was being
No.
squished or something? I don't.
After
recall.
he beat Shadow Reese, he was like flattened.
I fucking forgot Rise existed. I totally forgot until you just said it. Okay, yeah, she exists. All right.
Yeah. When Teddy meets Shadow Teddy, he's been flattened. He's like a Looney Tunes flat character
Right. Right. I should just.
because he's wasted all his power.
If only. They had so many opportunities to just peace out on Teddy.
Mm-hmm.
Man, Rise though.
Yeah.
She's a character.
Yeah.
Maybe she's worse. She might actually be worst. I lied.
Wow.
What is she like? She just meh. I don't like the whole pop idol thing.
Well, then you probably shouldn't play Dancing All Night because it's all the new characters you're saving in that are all pop idols.
I mean, yeah.
It's a big thing. It's a thing.
Look, if I play Dancing All Night, it's not for the story. And it's
What?
not for the rhythm game.
What?
That's all I'm saying.
Look, it's a
I'm
good
in it
rhythm game.
100%.
The story's
for that
good.
Swimsuit DLC.
Story. Here's why Persona 4 Dancing All Night story is great. Because it's just a story with those characters having gotten over their shit and being awesome.
Yeah.
The problem with the arena stories is that it's kind of a retread for a lot of stuff of them having to overcome their own self-doubt again. And Persona 4 Dancing All Night is fun because it's like, yeah, they're kind of like superheroes at this point. They've gone through this shit and they're stronger people.
Yeah.
So that's just like invigorating.
And also,
But-
the swimsuit DLC. Plus lots of body movement. Gotta sell
There's
those
good-
games.
Good dancing.
There's good.
I bought that Hatsune Miku DLC for it. Just because I
Was
bought
that
all
a
the
thing?
DLC. Yeah,
Oh,
there's
yeah,
Hatsune
sure.
Miku DLC. There was the Adachi DLC. You get the Adachi song.
Oh.
He does this weird dance where like he's like acting like a puppet on strings. That's super creepy.
Yeah, that's about right. That's I wouldn't expect anything else. Maybe him like awkwardly trying to grind on someone who was trying to push him away. That's
And I think Marie is the other DLC.
okay. Yeah.
And then there's some DLC that's just like it's just stuff from the anime. Like,
Also-
repurposed.
I really like how in Golden you can like, if you're a fan of Marie. So for me, this was perfect. I didn't have to choose. They let you have your cake and eat it too. Like you can go
choose the new
all the way with
characters.
Marie,
It
all
doesn't
the way
matter.
with Marie, and all the way with one other character, and it's perfectly fine. And there's no ramifications. It was awesome.
Look, you feel it in your heart, But yeah, they don't punish you for that. Just
Oh, no, I don't feel it in my heart.
Character.
It's fine. Look, you're seeing her as a girl. I'm seeing her as a spirit of the city. It's
I'm
spiritual.
seeing her as a character in a video game, so that's fine. It's not a real person.
I mean, it's a hypothetical argument to other girl. Were she to find out, but I like to think that I wouldn't let someone find out if I was that kind of asshole.
You like if I was some kind of asshole, I like to think I wouldn't let them find out.
I mean, it's like murdering someone, right? Like, I like to think I could get away with murder. Maybe not. Depends, but, you can always plan.
A man can dream. A man
Most
can dream.
Most of my murders involve school buses because I have access to them, and they're big. Sometimes there's collateral damage. If they're crossing the street in a group, can't be helped.
Wow.
Take off the plates first. Make sure you're going fast. Don't slow down. Don't stop.
Can't stop, won't stop.
Yeah. No, there's plans. There's definitely, just in case.
All right. Good to know. Good to know.
Okay, look. Don't sit here and talk to me like you've never plotted out a murder or like seen like, okay, this is what I would do.
No,
You've
it's
never
usually
done
if
that.
I'm in a group of large people, I just imagine them all dying horribly. It's fine.
Yeah, no. Intrusive thoughts now and again. Or constantly. Perpetually.
It's not.
Unendingly.
Usually. Or I try to, hit someone who is annoying me. It's fine. That used
That's
to be a
it?
thing.
Wait, what? Like you
I used to-
actually would like just
I
just
had a thing when I was a kid where I would just put my hands around someone's neck if I was really upset with them. I wouldn't really strangle them,
That's
but
not
the hands around
alarming
the
at all.
neck. That was my go-to
okay.
move.
I mean, the the as a kid part is really important
Yes.
here.
Yeah, no, when I was little, like pre-high school,
Yeah.
and with decreasing regularity, I would say.
Yeah, no, that's good. I only had to hit a kid who was being annoying once, but that was like in kindergarten, and it was class consensus. Like, he kept doing the whole copy everyone thing. Like, would just repeat shit back to you, and eventually I got sick of it, so I gave him a little donk on the forehead, and it stopped. Good job, Ben. Violence solves things sometimes. When applied, in the correct amount.
There was a time like once a kid hit me, and I was like, "Why did you do that?" And then he hit me again and knocked my glasses off. So I put my hands around his neck. I'm like, "What are you doing? Stop!" But that kid also once threw a log at my friend, and then said, when he confronted with the teacher who had seen him do it, said, you could wake up in the morning and they'd all be dead, and you couldn't prove it was me."
I
That's what
mean,
he said to a teacher.
that's bold.
So that was a good,
That's a-
that was a quality kid.
yeah. I mean, as happens, it's time for a Crump story, or Crump anecdote, I suppose is probably the better term. There's been a couple of times, like, there are certain people, you know, if anyone does, like, if someone's go-to reaction was to, like, put their hands around my neck, like, that's not cool. There's going to be ramifications for that, because presumably that person is at least 20 years old. Like, something is going to happen to you if you put your hands around my neck.
Yeah, it's not a.
Odds
I mean,
are
it's not a
don't
good
trust
thing.
you. Yeah. And it's not anything like that, but there's at least one time when, like, I don't know, he, like, gets up in my face for some reason. And, like,
Yeah.
he doesn't actually want to do anything, but he's just doing it to, like, to do it, I guess. And that's bad enough on its own, but, like, one time it was, like, with a knife, and another time it was with a lighter. And I'm like,
Yeah,
it's
that's
just
not-
you. I just don't trust you with this. Like, I don't trust that you are a coordinated enough person to not accidentally stab me in the throat. I would absolutely trust myself with a knife near your throat, because I know that I wouldn't, like, I have full control over my systems. You, I don't know. Like, I wonder sometimes. So yeah,
That's
you know, I know it's not a good feeling. Like, it's led to a lot of
Yeah, I
fuck
just
offs
had-
and get the hell away from me.
When I was a kid, I had anger issues. It was a thing.
Yeah, no.
And I would just get angry about being angry usually. Like that I
I'm
couldn't
pissed.
that I couldn't like
I'm pissed
control
and I'm
myself.
pissed.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Or I would just start crying, and I would just be upset, and I couldn't
Fair
I couldn't
enough.
deal until eventually, you know, I could deal. I could,
Yeah.
I could control
I,
myself. I grew up. It happened.
See, I like still have a bit of anger issues, but it's only at little stuff. Like, Crump once broke my laptop, and it was an accident. Like, just got pissed at a game and forgot that my laptop was on his bed, and he threw his controller and just instantly dead. I didn't care. Like, I didn't care at all. I'm like, yeah, whatever. Like, it'll get fixed. We can figure it out in the morning, because it's like 5 a.m. Don't worry about it.
Yeah.
It's fine. When I'm mowing the lawn, and it's a push mower, and the grass is like really thick and wet, because you haven't mowed it in like 3 weeks for whatever reason, and it just rained, so it needs to
Yeah.
be done. And the blade gets caught, and the mower hits me in the stomach, right? And it stops. That's annoying. There has been at least one instance where that happened for about the third time within a minute, and I just started kicking the shit out of the mower. Like, I had some steel-toed shoes on, and I was just kicking the fuck out of this lawnmower right by, like, a main highway through my state.
Yeah.
So to make matters, like, I'm already beating the shit out of the thing, hoping that I could hit it hard enough that it won't work and I can just be done for the day. But then some asshole driving by decides to go for a little meep meep. I was so enraged. I wanted to chase that car down so bad. But, you know, doesn't happen often, but when it does, whew.
Yeah. The most I'll ever get is to like a wind up, and then my brain will kick in.
Yeah. Yeah.
But because I don't think I've ever like thrown anything in anger.
Except for some games and hots. Heyo.
Oh,
Oh, shit.
Nah, I don't care.
Yeah, no, we know.
Yeah. Like, even when I had anger issues, it was hitting someone was something I could stop my brain around. It was like, didn't actually want to hurt anyone, but it would get to like, just stop. It's just
Yeah.
like finding
No,
ways
like you
to try
want
and
them
get
to
someone
yeah,
to like
yeah, you want them to shut
come
the
to
fuck up
attention
and,
and like, nope, stop that.
yeah, no, I hear you. It's a thing.
There was one time I have a vivid memory of a kid who was bigger than me, holding me, his hand on my head, holding me back while I just flailed my arms.
Nice.
Good
The
memory of that.
stereotype. Hell yeah.
Yes. Yeah.
That's pretty great.
Good times. Not really.
I have no way to tie this back to Persona, like, at all. So
No.
I was trying to think of like a way to bring it back, and there's nothing.
Not.
Maybe there was a quote in the game. There's probably a I feel like Teddy says, "Let me at him."
Oh, so actually, I thought of a thing I wanted to bring up, which is that one of the reasons I think why the Persona games, a thing that works about the Persona games I wouldn't really have thought about except for Tokyo Mirage Sessions, which is
That's the Fire Emblem.
it's the Fire Emblem
Right.
SMT kind of crossover game, but basically it's a Persona game without the Persona name.
Mm-hmm.
That has some Fire Emblem. You're basically, instead of selecting personas, your characters have Fire Emblem characters as their summons.
Okay.
But the thing about it is the characters in that are like not, they don't have the teenage anger that the characters from Persona have.
Mhm.
They don't, like, they're pretty bland and kind of just like doing like their job as being pop idols, basically.
Sure.
So it's like that, the parts where in Persona where they like get mad and angry and like that they like come close to killing Namatame or whatever, like that's stuff that is really important to what makes Persona 4 work. Like that these characters are potential to like make mistakes and be human and emotional in that way.
Yeah.
Like that stuff's super important, and it's like what I think TMS doesn't do.
Actually, that made me think of something in Persona 4 that I hadn't really thought about it until now. I guess it does it well enough that it's not a problem. I think we definitely have talked in the past, like how I tend to find fault with things like, especially anime or manga that have like the whole school setting.
Yes.
It's like that almost 9 times out of 10 is just like bullshit for me. I hate it. But yeah, it wasn't an issue in Persona 4, and I think that's because there's enough of that. Like it's not blown out of proportion because you have all this other shit that you couldn't do that and have it be good. Cuz you can't have people being killed and like personas and kind of demon things and fucking Teddy, and then also have like the evil overlord student council. Like you can't. They didn't blow out school, so it actually felt fine. Mm-hmm. So, and I didn't ever get any of that. Like, I mean, I guess maybe once or twice while playing it, I thought of it, but there was never any of that. Oh, like we're saving the world, and also we're like 13 or 14 or whatever. Like it all felt proportional.
Yeah, I
guess.
I mean, I like Persona 4's approach to the idea of saving the world, which is just, we're gonna justify humanity by being ourselves and being awesome. Like,
Yeah.
it's kind of, you save the world by being great in a small way, but that like justifies the rest of humanity. Kind of is like kind of the idea that's at the end of the game.
Yeah.
Which is different from what Persona 5 does, honestly, but that's fun. They're different games.
One that I will probably never play.
Look, Persona 4 is more like the end of Digimon Adventure, and Persona 5 is more like the Digimon or War Game movie. It's fine.
Yeah, you lost me. I don't
Yep.
know quite enough Digimon to soonish. Is Adventure
One
the
is way
second
more
season
involved
or
with the
third?
internet. Digimon Adventure is the first season.
Fuck's
Tamers is season 3. It's Digimon Adventure. It's Digimon Adventure 02 because it takes place in the year
Goddamn.
2002. And then there's Digimon Tamers, which takes place in the real world where Digimon is a collectible card game and TV show.
I remember, yeah. Yeah.
And video game. The online video game comes
Well,
up.
naturally. Yeah, this is like a limited knowledge, but just not quite enough.
Yeah, it's fine. There are some voice actors that are a lot of my what I like in dub actors comes back to that person was in Digimon. So there are some voice actors in Persona who worked on Digimon, but not a lot.
There is some random me and Peter watched through just the episodes of Afro Samurai because there's like 6 episodes or 5 or whatever, and I totally called like, is that the guy who plays Yasuke? And it is. There's like some random Persona voice actors in it, and it's just weird.
Mm-hmm. I mean, the crazy thing to me is like Kanji is voiced by Troy Baker, who like became the next Nolan North in terms of voicing every video game protagonist for a while.
Yeah, just everything.
Yeah, he's like super getting a shit ton of work, but mostly for a generic voice.
Yeah.
Generic main character voice, just not what that character is. So that was interesting. Oh, the other way that you can spoil that Adachi's probably the killer for yourself is if you look up on the IMDb for the character, that his voice actor is Johnny Young Bosch, who's like too big a name to be voicing that character.
Yeah.
He's Adam on Power Rangers, and he's a shit ton of people in anime. But he's also voices the main character in Battle.
Okay.
Like that, those
That's
voices
weird.
are the same. Those characters are voiced by the same person is also a thing.
Yeah. I mean, I don't think I'd ever.
So that was how my friend spoiled that for himself, kind of by looking up the IMDb on the
checking.
game while he was still playing it and going
yeah.
like, that has to be how that. It's just like putting the dots together.
Yeah.
It's just like fills in the space if you haven't thought about it yet.
See, I don't think I'd ever be that. Like, if I recognize someone's voice, I might look them up.
Yeah, no. I mean,
but
it's just a
randomly
thing
doing it.
me and my friends were into was looking up voice
Oh, yeah.
actors
No,
and
I
stuff
get
we're
it. I
watching
just-
and tying it to other stuff. Mm-hmm. My favorite is like that there are. I don't know any Japanese, but I can recognize Japanese voice actors and actresses just because I've heard them so much.
I don't think
It's just fun.
Yeah, I can't think
It's
of one that I
it's
would
just
actually
fun.
recognize.
Yeah.
I like to
happens
think. I like to think that I could recognize the main guy from Mushishi, but I can't say that in confidence. Yeah. That's,
But I think that's a podcast.
that's a Persona podcast. Yeah.
Persona 4 Golden's Persona 4 Golden is a very good game. I think it's my favorite straight single player game. When I played Persona 4 the first time, it dethroned The World Ends With You for that
Okay.
spot.
Also, never played.
Yeah,
I
The World
should
Ends
say
With
that
You
I
also
picked
does the true ending thing.
Mm-hmm.
So I think that was where I got introduced to that idea of like, there's this ending, but then there's the true ending.
Yeah.
I also really like how Persona 4 handles that in terms of how you go and find that.
Yeah, no, it's a good thing. Unless you accidentally
there's-
killed Nanago,
Yeah.
like whoops.
Like it's one of those things where it's like, I don't want people to miss it, but I kind of want it to be missable. And I don't want to miss it either, but
yeah.
But
No, I
it's
get you.
frustrating if you talk to someone who's played it and didn't do that, and you're like, "What are you doing?
You fucked up.
You fucked up, bud.
What do you mean you didn't save?
What do you mean you didn't do
God.
Pacifist Run in Undertale? You
Don't
Fucking
even
kidding me?
start on me about Undertale. What do you mean you played
Fucking
Undertale?
kidding me?
What a shit game.
Wow. I mean, I don't love the gameplay in that, but it's a good game. But
I had
the thing about it is that like everything that's good about it comes in the pacifist ending at the end. That's like all my favorite stuff is there.
I had a good analogy.
I wouldn't
about
have gotten there
Undertale.
otherwhere.
But I was thinking of this just today. God damn. Maybe I was saving it for something else. I don't know. Fuck Undertale. Anyway.
Wow. No, Undertale's fun.
I've explained like
fine.
It is a totally biased reason to hate it, but like
It doesn't
I still
even.
hate
You're
it.
not even a. There's not even a Universal Student Council in that. Come on, Ben.
straight up, I recognize on an objective level that it is a good game. But also fuck it and it's trash and I refuse to play it ever again. I tried. Not doing it.
I mean, that's fair. If you tried to play something you didn't like it and you don't want to play it, it's
I
fine.
mean, like, it is the most I have rage quit a game. Like, for just a lot of reasons.
You haven't played enough terrible games then.
Probably. Like, it's the first game that I actually, like, I got partway through, and then I uninstalled it, hid it from my library, went on Wikipedia, and just spoiled the entire thing for myself because I was just far enough that I needed to know what happened.
That's weird.
Just far enough. It's a whole thing. We can we can revisit it on a Ben rants about Undertale for an hour.
I don't. That doesn't sound like fun. I don't
It
know.
won't be. It won't be fun, but we're gonna do it.
All right, that's been a podcast. You can email us at saltcirclepodcast@gmail.com. Find us on soundcloud.com/saltcircle. Find us on Twitter at saltcirclepod. We're on iTunes, we're on Stitcher, and we're also on Google Play Music now.
Oh yeah.
And you can find me at Comic Panels.
On Twitter.
On Twitter. Yeah.
And I'm on Twitter at bean_LP, and Naoto is best girl. And good night. Good day.
It's fun. See ya.